There are pillars of time in Jordan's deserts. The owners of the desert move freely among those pillars. These owners willingly share what they have with a stranger, feeling fulfilled rather than empty. The barren land is full of stories related to water. On this part of my journey, I will be traveling along Jordan's waterways. I will start from Gais, the northernmost city of Jordan, pass by the Jordan River and the Dead Sea, and come down towards the port city of Aqaba. My travels led me to different waters shining in their own colors. Jordan is an Arab kingdom located in the north of the Arabian Peninsula. It is the origin of one of the world's oldest civilizations. I traveled by car for 2 hours from Amman to Gais. Gais is a city built upon a mountain plain at an altitude of 700 meters. It was one of the strongest cities of ancient times. It is said that it took Alexander the Great 10 months to overcome Gais. The city is still closely guarded, because the city is burdened with the important responsibility of keeping the border line.
How are you? Korea. 요르단의 북부 지역이고 이스라엘과 레바논과 팔레스타인과 시리아까지 같이 붙어있는 접경 지역이어서 경찰들이 많이 있는 것 같고요.
Gais garnered much attention during the times of ancient Greece, Rome, and the Byzantine Empire. That is why many archaeological remains can be seen today. These are Roman ruins. The Romans utilized the hot springs here and drew people to the city.
What is here?
Shops from Roman time.
Roman time.
It's like a shopping center. This is a road with many shops to the right and the left. So this is an example of one of the shops.
People from different regions must have come here to shop after enjoying the baths. The neighboring regions might have been jealous of Gais, but there was nothing they could do. Only Gais has the facilities to accept visitors.
This made people come to live here. And also water. Water is a lot here. You saw the lake, you saw the river. And also in winter, there's a lot of rain. A lot of rain here. You see, it's very green, huh? Look at the flowers, tree, it's very green.
This theater, through which the cool breeze of the highlands passes, was used long ago to present poetry and performance pieces.
This is the West Theater. Called the West Theater because it's in the west of the city and facing the west, where the sun sets.
The once prosperous Gais was slowly forgotten after it was hit by earthquake and epidemic. Then a small Arab village formed here again after the 12th century. The old glory can only be seen in memory. But what about the water? Water played an important part in Gais' prosperity. It came from Lake Tiberias down below.
On here, Jordan. This is village from Jordan.
From Jordan.
The other village of Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah, but over there is Israel. First the Syria, now
First to Syria.
Syria.
The Six-Day War of 1967 changed the local landscape. Jordan lost much of its land to Israel, and the upper reaches of Lake Tiberias were included in that land. The Jordan River's water level used to change depending on the climate, but now it is affected by Israeli government policy.
사막 지역에서는 물의 의미가 어떻게 보면 생명과 직결되기 때문에 물만 많이 갖고 있으면 오아시스를 주변으로 해서 사람들이 모일 정도로 굉장히 큰 의미를 두게 되는데 저 따바리안 호수 정도의 물량이면은 요르단 사람들이 좀 더 행복하게 그다음에 물을 풍족하게 쓰지 않았을까 생각이 듭니다.
Having lost the upper reaches of the river, the Jordan River now has a water flow. However, it is only the Jordan River that can give birth to life in this land. I encountered a flower field on my way down along the river. It is a rare harvest in the desert.
안 남은게? 저 어렸을 때 좀 물을 뿌려봐서 거리와 이거 분사 정도의 양을 조절할 수 있어서 좋은 것 같습니다.
I felt happy with this unexpected encounter. But the owner does not seem to approve of how I watered the flowers.
제가 잘 못하는 것 같아요. 조리 같은 거 가져왔네요. 예.
He says that the soil dries up soon even though it is watered.
ما فيش ميه ما في زرع بدها باستمرار مي ورطوبه المي ما هي خفيفه وفيش شتاء كثير بضل رطوبه مستمره في الارض بدك تسقي ميه اكثر عشان تضل في رطوبه في الارض والشتاء نضل منعنش وطالع.
The flowers that have grown up under harsh conditions show off their existence through strong colors.
عشان سموها عشان تفتح زي سم السمك.
Because he cannot grow many flowers, he focuses on growing special breeds. This plant is popular among Jordanians because of its rare color. It moves flexibly when pulled with a little strength, and it gives off a faint, aromatic smell. The name of the tree is Gold Star. It purifies the air, so it is a good plant to raise indoors.
크리스마스 트리에 색깔을 채색하는 것처럼 색깔이 너무 오묘하니까. 와, 굉장히 좋은 향이 납니다.
صارت?
Yeah, that's great. Nice.
I made my way down the Jordan River. I will see how the river changes and go to the Dead Sea in the end. The air becomes drier towards the south. The humidity evaporates quickly in the desert climate.
남쪽으로 내려오면서 많이 더워지고 있습니다. 날씨도 더워지고 있고 햇빛이 워낙 뜨거워지는 것 때문에 밖에서 느껴지는 것도 모래들이 점점 하얘지고 있고요. 식물들까지도 태양을 받아서 많이 하얗게 되는 것을 볼 수 있습니다.
I can see a rainwater reservoir. Soil was dug out to collect water, but the trees were left alone when digging. That is because the trees are as important as water.
هاي الجمال هذا اللينا وهي المي بنسقين منها وبنسقي الزراعة منها وبتجي من السيل من فوق وفي مية شتاء كمان معها مختلطة وما بتروح على البحر الميت يعني.
Although there is very little water, it is used for both plants and animals. However, people who need more water find other ways to collect it. This is a pumpkin field waiting to be harvested. The pumpkin is Jordan's main agricultural product, along with tomatoes, eggplants, and potatoes.
كويس كتير.
Although small, it is said to taste good.
زاكي في المحشي في الطبخ انت عارف يعني لما تنحشي وتنعمل باللحمه وبالرز بعد الطبخ هذه.
How are the pumpkins grown in this barren land?
بربيش تنقيط بالمية نروي عليه الشتل.
Most of Jordan's farms are watered by irrigation pipes. They are using subterranean water. Jordan's water contains a lot of minerals and salt.
여기 물을 모아놓은 시장고 같은 곳이 있습니다. 굉장히 넓고요. 와. 약간 짭짤한 맛이 나지만 예, 굉장히 시원하고 맛있습니다.
The farmer is raising fish in the reservoir. He is trying to make the most of the water. This water seems sufficient to quench the thirst of both fish and plants for a while. The borderline with Israel is closest, in an unexpected place.
이 요르단강은 움가이스에서 쭉 흘러내려와서 사해 쪽으로 흘러가게 되는데요. 보통은 국경지대와 밀접해 있기 때문에 일반인들에게 공개되지 않습니다. 하지만 이 근처 어딘가에서 예수가 예전에 세례를 받았다고 해서 특별하게 개방되어 있는 곳입니다.
Jesus' place of baptism is where the Jordan River is narrowest. Right across the river is Israel. The decreased river flow has made it easy for people to see across the river, but people are too busy to look across. I continued on my way south. Before reaching the Dead Sea, I stopped by an interesting geographical point. There is a hidden place near the Dead Sea, only known to the locals. It is a natural hot spring of unknown origins. There are several hot springs in Jordan because the land is located in a volcanic region. The water temperature of this hot spring is about 60 degrees Celsius.
와, 등장이 빨개졌어요. 오늘 얼마나 뜨거운지 아직도 뜨끈뜨끈합니다. 와, 뜨거운 거 나오네.
هبة من الله سبحانه وتعالى الأرض للناس مشان ربنا سبحانه وتعالى سخر الكون للناس يستفيدوا منه بما ينفع أجسامهم ورواحهم لله سبحانه وتعالى.
Humans do not have to do anything else here. They think it is a gift from God because the existing waterfall and cave are sufficient for them as they are. The hottest spot in the hot spring is a secret cave that locals visit often.
مي حامي.
مية حامية.
حامي ساخن.
hot water.
زي البخار.
I am curious to know what the inside of the cave looks like. The inside of the cave is deeper than I expected. The way inside is curvy and goes on for a long time. The temperature increases inside. I finally reached the end of the cave. The locals already enjoying their baths make way for me to join in. But I am not ready to submerge myself in the hot water yet. This hot spring is open to all. Many people come and go, but the hot spring temperature and water volume do not change. The secret to this is the faucet in the ceiling. The rocks in the cave are basalt. The hot water falls down through the holes in the rock that were created when gas was emitted. Now that I have learned about the principle behind the hot spring, I think I will make my way out. I almost feel dizzy with the hot steam. However, one course remains for me to take. It is standing under the waterfall. I took off my shirt in the heat, and the locals clapped, welcoming me into their midst. The people expressed a great joy in the hot spring that was stronger than any oasis.
지옥과 천국을 오가는 것 같은 그런 느낌이네요. 안에는 밀폐되어 있다 보니까 밑에 뜨거운 온도가 위에 올라와서 공기가 좀 희박하고요. 그 다음에 너무 뜨겁다 보니까 심장이 좀 눌리는 느낌이 들고 좀 어지러움증까지 있더라고요. 근데 그러다가 한 발짝 한 발짝 나올 때마다 생기가 돌 만큼 신선한 공기가 있어서 좋았고요. 나와서는 바로 이렇게 폭포 밑에서 샤워까지 하니까 한 번에 다시 천국으로 돌아온 것 같은 느낌을 받았습니다.
The waters of the hot spring flow into the Jordan River and flow towards the Dead Sea. The Jordan River flows into the Dead Sea and does not flow any further.
사해 전체가 보이는 곳에 와 있는데요. 건너편에 이스라엘만 막혀 있지 않다면 저쪽 끝을 가늠할 수 없어서 굉장히 넓은 바다라는 것을 알 수 있습니다.
The salinity is 33%. It is six-fold more concentrated than an average sea. The salt that can no longer melt in water form flowers on the rocks.
과거에 이곳까지 물이 차 있었던 것 같은데요. 소금 형성이 쌓여서 돌을 감싸고 있으면서 그 모양 그대로 소금 형성돼 있다는 걸 볼 수 있습니다. 굉장히 신비롭네요, 이 모양들이.
The water in the Dead Sea does not flow anywhere else, but the water flowing in evaporates, keeping the Dead Sea the same. However, the laws of nature are being broken because the water volume from the Jordan River is decreasing. The Dead Sea is growing shallower by 1 meter every year.
지금 계속 사해가 낮아지고 있는데요. 원래 기존의 높이에 비해서 실제 10m 이상 낮아져 보이는 걸 볼 수 있습니다.
Will this beautiful part of nature be protected?
와, 진짜 크겠다.
Scholars warn that, at this rate, the Dead Sea will disappear in 50 years. The southern part of the Dead Sea has already seen its end.
One day, this is a weak part on the landscape. So we're afraid if you step on this a plate, it will fall down.
Maybe fall
because
down.
it's salt, so you need to watch your steps.
This may be nature's way of punishing humans who have broken a long-standing custom. This place was also part of the Dead Sea 20 years ago. After the water dried up, the salt was melted by the rain, and the land is sinking. It is a sinkhole.
가지고 넣어도 뭐 아직 미치 안 닿을 정도로 굉장히 깊어요.
If I step on the wrong spot, I could just sink into the ground.
와우. I
have to listen carefully if I want to cross safely.
아, 얼음판을 걷는 것 같은 아슬아슬한 느낌이 들고요. 아, 이쪽으로 그 배우고 나서는 이쪽에 올라서 치면 진짜 얇다는 느낌이 드니까 살짝 무섭습니다.
This is a dead land where no life can exist. It is scary to think that the rest of the Dead Sea could become like this. People visit the Dead Sea for various reasons. There are those who come to see the scenery of the sea that lies 400 meters below sea level. But there are also those who want to experience Dead Sea water, which is abundant in minerals.
هذه مي من البحر الميت مالحة مفيدة للإجرين وللمفاصل ولكل اللي معه ديسك مفيدة كتير وللوجه كمان. أنا ماخذها هاي لوالدتي عشان إجريها وجهها.
The high salinity makes the people float in the water. So even people who cannot swim can enjoy swimming. I wanted to experience the sensation of weightlessness in the Dead Sea, but it was not easy. It was difficult to open my eyes for a while. You have to wash the salt out with fresh water right away. There are accidents here and there.
맛도 그냥 짜다는 맛이 아니라 굉장히 쓴맛이까지 나요. 눈에 들어갔을 때는 아플 정도로 따끔따끔합니다. 촉감이 상당히 독특합니다.
Now that I know my enemy, it is my turn to win. I decided to try again in deeper water. My body really floated.
아, 신기합니다. 아주 신기해요.
The waters that flow across Jordan all gather here. But the Jordan River did not only bring water, it also created mud deposits. It is slippery and wet. How do I wash off the mud? The hot spring water that flows down from the valley above has created a small spring right next to the Dead Sea. It is a pool of warm water where one can rest after bathing in the sea. I am also greeted as a guest here.
바다에서 뭐들 하고 온 사람들이 여기서 깨끗하게 헹구기 좋은 것 같고요. 사우나 하는 기분이 들어서 이곳이 목욕의 종착역이 아닌가 생각이 듭니다.
The sun began to set, but the people did not go home. In fact, more people seemed to arrive with the night. The Dead Sea is a popular vacation spot for Jordanians. During the weekend, many people park near the water and enjoy camping here. The smells of various food fill the streets.
مرحبا شو هذا؟
هاي باللايت بندورة.
بندورة؟
بندورة.
بندورة. بندورة.
حزاكي كيف مزاك؟ كيف مزاك؟ ايش اسمه الزاك؟ شاي؟
لانه في ناس كثير اول شيء وفي عشان البحر كمان والجو دافي هون.
The men invited me to join their dinner on the spot. I found out that they are a Bedouin, known for their hospitality to strangers. The Bedouin are welcoming to strangers not just in the desert, but also here at the Dead Sea.
베두인들은 이동하면서 생활하기 때문에 사람들을 많이 못 만나서 이방인을 만날 때 굉장히 친절한 마음과 반가움을 갖는 것 같아요.
This Bedouin man has even brought his camel. The camel changes the mood of the party. This child seems to be riding a camel for the first time. She seems to be shaken by her first camel ride at the Dead Sea.
Isn't this dangerous? Isn't dangerous?
No.
Really?
No. It's beautiful. احنا اصلا بدو ومتعودين على الشغلات.
يخوف. ريحة الركبة. الركبة حلوة بس يخوف.
Although Bedouin blood does not flow in me, I also decided to have a go at riding a camel.
이게 상당히 높고요. 이게 흔들림이 너무 커서 이거 조금 아유 잠시만 무섭습니다.
But the camel keeps on speeding up. I don't think it understood me. I could understand why Jordanians call the camel the ship of the desert after my fast and bumpy ride.
심령 감수했습니다. 손이 막 힘을 줘가지고 너무 힘들어요. 근데 생각보다 재미는 있는데 많이 높다는 생각이 들고요.
An unforgettable night passes by. There are no more rivers after the Dead Sea. Instead, there is the sea in the south. Aqaba is the only port city in Jordan. It is a tax-free region developed for trade. The market is filled with fruit imported from neighboring countries. It is sold at low cost. The bananas drew my attention.
هذا موز صومالي الكيلو ب90 قرش أردني وما في عليه جمارك ولا ضرائب.
I decided to buy bananas from the tax-free store first. Now that I have filled my stomach, I will go out to sea. The narrow and long sea in between the Arabian Peninsula and the African continent is called the Red Sea because the water looks red where the coral reefs are.
Assalamu alaikum.
The water is transparent. In addition to tropical fish and coral reefs, there are other sights to be seen underwater.
Kilometers from this spot, we have a tank, and we have also shipwreck, and this is a gift from King Abdullah for the divers.
The submerged tank at Aqaba Bay was used during the Middle East War. From here, we can see the countries that participated in the war.
Here is 2 hotels. Okay, this is Eilat, Israel. This one first is Taba, Egypt. This Aqaba called 4 countries: Jordan, Israel, Egypt, Saudi Arabia. After this water, Saudi Arabia, Egypt is Saudi Arabia. This is big, is water.
The war happened a long time ago. The coast is now quiet and peaceful.
This down here is 8 meters. Really? 8.
Aqaba's sea is warm enough to swim in the winter too. I follow my guide slowly into the water. I could really see the tank. The tank that was once used for war is now the home of fish. It was the Jordanian king who sank the tank. There must be a reason why he did that.
와, 진짜 재밌습니다.
All the best.
Yeah, thank you.
حكينا برضو التانك على اساس انه ان شاء الله انه يعم السلام على كل الدنيا، فمش محتاجين احنا للاسلحه، ما بلشنا ننزلهم في البحر يعني على اساس ما بدنا نستخدمهم ان شاء الله في المستقبل.
The people are erasing the war from their memories because the present is more important to them. Aqaba is one of Jordan's new possibilities. There is a movement to desalinate the abundant seawater and send it to the Dead Sea. The sea will guarantee the people's future. Aqaba is famous as a vacation spot because it is the only place in Jordan where people can see the sea.
I'm good, you know, I'm not from Aqaba, I'm from Petra, but we're coming here to enjoy with my family. And also we do have one person here, today it's birthday, so we have to make some party or lighting some that's why.
Families and friends come here to create memories.
안녕. Korea, 안녕.
What's your name?
안녕.
What's your name?
두영.
Maybe I had been mistaken all along. I thought the Jordanian children were shy, but they don't seem so shy at the beach.
확실히 옷이 간편해지면서 마음도 되게 간편해져서 되게 남녀노소 불문하지 않고 만날 수 있는 것 같아요. 확실히 여기 자유로운 해안이긴 해안인 것 같습니다. 슈슈하다? 슈슈하다? 타블렛.
Playing with the children, I think back on my journey along the watercourse. I give a little prayer that the sea will flow towards the river and that the river will recover its past appearance, so that more people will become happier.